What's up? It is Wednesday, baby. What is up? Oh, man. Slow start today. Oh. What's up, Nick, Bill, Chris, Josh? What's up, fellas? How's it going? Cheers. Oh, from the upside down beer koozie. Hang on. It was I won that in the giveaway. Figure I'll use it. Steven, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? How is everyone doing? It is Wednesday. We made it. Hang on, let me grab this bottle cap that I threw on the floor. Oh, we made it, fellas. Oh, we over halfway there. What's up, Anthony Tran? Steve? What's up? Oh, you guys got to check it out. It's my Father's Day present from Mrs. Nuts. Boom. Got the hat with the logo on it. Woo, looks good. Oh, I'm still trying to work on the merchandise store thing. It's a big thing to do that. You can't just be like, oh, I want to have merchandise. You got to do a lot of stuff and set it up and a lot of investing and all kinds of stuff. So, anyways, I'm working on that, but just letting you guys know. We got no rain here. Hang on, darn rug. Oh man, we were in a heat wave. It was like 111 last week, like 2 days in a row. Agtech, what's up, man? Had to spend all of Sunday driving down to Southern California to drop off my middle kid at skateboard camp. So that was my Father's Day. We left at 8 a.m. and got back at 10:30 Sunday night, and had to pretty much just go right to sleep. So, oh, what is up? Mechanical triage in the house. Oh, you got a screwed up week? That sucks, man. That's a bummer. Man, I pulled a sprinter in right before I left, so we have a lot of fleet, and we have this one company, and they have a ton of sprinters, and And at the end of the day, it was like, just check it out. They were driving on the freeway, and the vehicle came to a halt. And the our we have one rider who does all the fleet, as long as he's there. And he said when he was backing it up, it was grinding, like it was brakes. And I got in, turned the key, brake wear sensor. Okay, cool. So I'm backing up, and I could hear noise, but not brake noise. Like, it didn't sound like brake noise. It almost sounded like a bearing or something. And so I had somebody walk around the outside, didn't see anything. So I racked it right before I left, and I was rolling around looking at the rotors, and I couldn't see any metal to metal. I roll to the back, and I'm trying to look, and it's a dually sprinter. So it's really hard to see the inner pads in the rotor. And so I'm trying to look, and I'm like, oh God, oh, what is that smell? Oh, it smells like gear oil. So wait, why the hell do I smell gear oil? And I look, and the differential's leaking. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I start rolling the wheels, and literally, like, if this is the yoke of the differential, the pinion, the drive line's like this, and it's all gadunk, gadunk, like it totally like sunk in when it got. So I'm gonna have to pull the cover tomorrow and see what's going on. But it pretty much looks um like it's gonna need a diff. So hey, where is Blake's? I haven't seen Blake. Is he in here? Did I miss him? Oh, hey Blake. I missed you up there. I'm sorry. Oh man, good to see you, brother. I haven't seen you in a minute. What's up, Pat? How's it going? So yes, I looked at that at the end of the day, and then I had a BMW today. Was a 2011, a 2011 525i, I think, with an N55, and it had a water pump code, and had a leaking oil pan. And right before I left, my writer said, hey, I sold the water pump and the oil pan. It's like 17 hours. Can you get it done tomorrow? And so, yeah, I got to figure that out. Cool Cats Garage. Oh, thanks for joining the stream, brother. Good to see you. So my coworker, who's the Euro expert, when he walked over to look at the oil pan, because I always ask him, hey, is this something that we should be recommending, a rear main or oil pan, or what do you? Because he knows. And he comes over and he looks at it. He's like, that's just an oil pan. I was like, okay. He's like, hey, I could do that in 2 hours. I was like, what? And so anyway, so yeah, so there's a trick to it. I got to look it up. So yeah, I know. Yep, there we go. BMW water pump. And you know what's funny is I haven't done one. I've only done one, and it was on an X5, and it was like 10 years ago. And of course, the 525i is all-wheel drive, so it's got a big fat final drive or whatever it's called, right there in the front that just sits right below the water pump, just like an X5. The X5 is much more difficult. Or no, maybe it's not a foot. What is that? Maybe it's a steering rack. No, because wait a minute. That's a no. I'm pretty sure it's like a final drive. I'm pretty sure it's like a. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. I'm pretty sure it's all-wheel drive. I don't know. I didn't look at it that long. I didn't have a lot of time to look at it. I had to hurry up. I had to borrow somebody's rack, and I had to rack it up to get a look at the car, and then get rolling onto other stuff. So, man, so check this out. You guys we all hear stories about you change my oil in my car and now my windows don't work, or something stupid and random and dumb, and you're like, it's not your fault, but whatever. And so oh, Pat, no, it's electric. It's it's an electric water pump. Wait, hang on. Unless I'm missing something. Um so anyway, so I get this ILS 01 BMW, and I do the rack and all the power steering lines and the reservoir. I get all done. I go test drive it, Everything is perfect. It's beautiful. All done. I literally only pull it in to check the fluid. I pull up and I get out of the car and I'm like, oh man, why does it smell like gas in here? Well, we have a Fiat in the shop that has a fuel leak. And so I thought maybe somebody brought that in and it was leak, it had fuel leaking. So I'm smelling, I'm like, man, this sure smells like it's this car. Pop the hood, I'm looking around, I'm smelling, I'm like, I can smell fuel, but I don't see anything. I don't know. I'll have to just check it out. So I dropped down to make sure there was no power steering leaks. And right back at the firewall, just drip, 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 just fuel just leaking out. Had to pull the intake off, and it was the fuel line. I don't know why it was leaking, but it was leaking where it's got the quick connect and it goes over the fuel rail and it clicks on. It was clicked on, but it was leaking. So, anyways, got a new fuel line coming tomorrow, and then of course I broke the PCV hose. Um, oh, here you go, Steven. Bam. My Father's Day present right there. Oh, is it Bill's birthday? Did I miss it? Bill's birthday? Anthony Robles in the house. What's up, brother? Oh, I got to finish watching your video. I was just watching your video with your little snap-on ratcheting screwdriver and your rebranded Knipex. Pretty cool. You're researching a Sprinter engine swap out for what? What? Just like changing the engine, or like doing a uh like an engine change? If you're just replacing the engine, let me know. I'll tell you an important tip that screwed me, so it doesn't happen to you. Oh, Steven, it was a Father's Day present. I am actually working on the merchandise thing. It's not so much as like easy as you have a logo and you just go and do it. You have to do all this stuff, and it's a lot of like investing, and you have to do. It's a lot more to it than I thought. But I'm working on that. It's just going to take a little bit of time. Just a lot of stuff going on. Trying to get my kid ready for skate camp and driving him down, and we got to drive down Saturday morning and pick him up. We got to leave at like 5 in the morning to get down there. So, what's up, Nick? I don't think I said hello. How are you? Bill is 56 today. Nice. What? Bill, you better be taking your 17-year-old nephew on the truck to buy you a new ratchet. See how funny that is when he has to break his wallet out. Yeah. Yeah, the hat's awesome, man. I love it. Super stoked. Try not to wear it like a ton because I sweat so much. And my old hat that just said nuts and bolts, like it's like starting to turn brown. It's got like white staining all around it because I sweat so much. And so, anyways, I'm super stoked. That was awesome. Did you have a good birthday, Bill? Oh, here, let's see what. All right. So Anthony. Oh, nice. An Italian feast. Sweet. That sounds delicious. We just went to the spaghetti factory the other night. We took my little one up there to dinner because he got left home. He didn't get to go to skateboard camp or scooter camp or anything, and so we took him to dinner the other night. Last night, tomorrow we're taking him to the River Cats baseball game. Uh, so yeah, no, I know it's a little bit to get set up, Stephen. I'm working on it. Just know it's definitely not forgotten about. I'm just trying to got a lot of stuff going on, so I'm trying to get everything. What's a Jim's tool? What is a Jim's tool? What's a special Jim's tool? Yeah, it's I think it's AAA. I think it's the AAA for the Giants. Um, so yeah, Sacramento River Cat. So that's going to be fun. Motorcycle specific tool. Okay, all right. So Anthony, when you pull the engine, the Sprinter, I don't know if you've ever pulled one out. I did one time, and I made quite a mistake. So the flywheel has between the flywheel and the torque converter, right? One of them is recessed and the other one sticks out. So it's like, let's say there's two torque converter bolts and they're like this, okay, in each one of my hands, right here, and then right here, okay. And so it's two here, and then two over here. So you got six. Well, those two recesses, they have to line up perfect. So what I did was I didn't realize that, and I had it off by one, and I jammed it together, and we bolted the engine and we started to pull it together with the engine and the transmission, and basically I broke the pump of the transmission. So we had to pull the tranny out, run it up to the transmission shop, and luckily we did a lot of work with the guy that he had a pump laying around, and he just threw it in there for us, and I don't even think he charged us. So that was really good because I had just got done doing this nightmare engine, and then I broke the pump. Sprinter started, it wouldn't drive anywhere. So make sure that you really look at that when you pull it apart. I'm usually pretty thorough. I think I'm over thorough in a lot of aspects, and somehow I don't know how, because I generally don't do this, but I totally screwed the pooch on that one, and I missed I missed it. I don't know what happened, and I messed it up. So there you go. So that way you don't have to buy your boss a transmission pump when you replace his engine. So, anyways, it was a five-cylinder Sprinter. So just the inline one. So it's funny because it was like 5-cylinder Sprinters all day long, and then there was a ton of the V6 3 liters, a lot of those, and then now it's all going to. Excuse me. Now I'm starting to see a ton of 4-cylinder. Excuse me. Good Lord. It's been like almost back to back to back 4-cylinder Sprinters. So they went back to a 4-cylinder, and yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. It's been and you know what's funny is the water pumps are it's like a common thing. You always look at them because they're leaking most of the time. And check this out. The water pump is a mechanical water pump, right? But it also has a vacuum operated diaphragm to change the duty cycle of the pump. So there's vacuum going into the water pump. So you can actually have a ton of drivability problems from the vacuum side of it. My coworker told me about it like months ago, and then I got one that was leaking, and we looked at it when we took it apart. We figured out how it worked, and then I think I did one more because it was leaking, and then he did one because it had like 7 or 8 engine faults. And basically it all led back to the water pump being bad, and then we've done a couple more from leaking. But it was funny because they cause drivability problems. So pretty interesting. Who would have thought a water pump can cause a vacuum leak drivability problem? All right, here we go. AgTech had a CAN bus wiring issue on a sprayer that kicked his butt. Oh, that sucks. How long did that take you, AgTech? How long did you spend on that scraper or sprayer total? Hey man, CAN bus wiring issues that can be a bugger. Anytime you have a CAN issue, because I mean, some of these vehicles have, 20, 25, 30 computers, and depending on the type of CAN network it is, I mean, you're disconnecting all the modules just to try to see if the network is bad. So you gotta know that CAN systems just they're good and they suck at the same time. So what's up, Repair Your PC? What's happening? Welcome to the stream. Happy Wednesday. Oh, there you go, Anthony. You know what you got to do. I got a video dropping tomorrow that's going to show you some tools that you need. So you watch that video, it shows you what you need. If you're working on 6 liters, 6.4s, 6.7s, you got the Cummins, Duramaxes, you got a stuck injector. I'll tell you all about it. Give you some little tips and tricks, and tell you the tools that I use to, not all of them, but a lot of them. I show you most of them. 16 hours. Oh my God. Wow. So are you straight up, are you like hourly ag tech, or do you get paid straight up hourly, like however many hours you punch? Do you have any sort of incentive to produce more hours? How does that work? I know most places they're going to pay by the hour and then offer some sort of incentive because, I mean, let's just face it, there are a lot of people out there that maybe can do a good job, but they're not go-getters, and they're not going to go get hours. They're going to go get whatever works in their day of the hours, and that's it. And therefore, they're not going to produce as much as they should, and therefore, the company is not going to prosper as much as they could because they're paying this guy by the hour to, possibly, milk the clock in a way. Jim Lucky, what's happening, man? Oh, you made it in early. I think you've been popping in like late at the last minute last few times. Awesome. Good to see you here. Hourly and an efficiency bonus. Okay, so that's like me. That's like the California flat rate. That's what we like to call the California flat rate. They can't pay us flat rate anymore in California because it's unethical for the people that don't produce. Oh, Theo, what's up, man? How's it going, brother? I'm loving them torque wrenches, Theo. Those are awesome. I'm thinking that I need to invest in a 3/4 inch torque wrench. The biggest I have is I have a 1/2 inch clicker that I think goes up to 250. I have a 1/2 inch clicker. It's a Matco. I think it goes up to 250 or so. I have a Snap-on tech angle that goes up to, I think, 250. And then I have my Precision Instruments split beam. But I'll tell you what, the thing's, I mean, it's like 18 inches long. And when you're torquing anything of any any sustenance of torque, it's hard. It's really hard to torque it. So, well, yeah, Steve, it's, I'm really thinking about it because sometimes I do like sprinters, for example. Sprinter lug nuts are 180 foot-pounds.
You need some light.
Oh, I need light? Okay.
Maybe you put that.
I will. The boss said I need some light. Hang on.
Is this bad light?
I don't know. Do I look beautiful? No, it looks good. I look handsome. Okay. That's what they just said.
Jesus.
Super handsome.
No. You don't want light behind you. Nope. No light behind you. That's shade.
I didn't open it.
That will shade your face. Okay. No, close that completely.
Oh, it was open.
I know, but I'm helping you.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Want light on your face, not behind you.
All right. Oh yeah. Super handsome. What do you guys think?
If we could raise that up too, I'd be a lot happier.
What?
I'd like to raise this up.
The desk? Okay. All right. All right. So anytime I'm torquing so sprinters are 180 foot-pounds. And I bought my Precision Instruments split beam for lug nuts, right? Because it's a pain to get out a clicker and then roll it back to 0, or I think my Matco one's 25. I don't really like to use the tech angle to do lug nuts because, I mean, let's just face it, after so many times, you're supposed to get them calibrated. I really don't want to waste it on lug nuts. And so it's a pain to click, clickers back. But man, 180 foot-pounds on that 18-inch, Precision Instruments split beam, that's hard. It's hard on the elbows, and it's tough. But well, check this out. I got a video coming up. It's gonna have to be a time-lapse video. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it. But I'm doing the heads on a 6-liter. Sometime soon. It's coming back Monday, but we're putting, so the guy runs like a tune on it, but not like a hot tune. And it's a nice 6-liter. I mean, he's got like really nice gauges. He's got a really nice, I don't know, SCT tune or something. I mean, it's got all the readings. It's really nice. Truck's done real well. The gauges are all up the pillar. It's got, it's got a fuel pressure PID. It's got a fuel pressure gauge. It's got a boost gauge. It's got all nice gauges and everything. And but we're putting a so I guess like race engines. I'm not a race person, so you guys would know. If Gary was here, he would know. So around the combustion chamber, I guess what they do for race engines is they machine a groove around the combustion chamber, and they put a crush ring in there. So basically, when you put the head gasket in, it crushes that ring, but it's supposed to keep the compression in and keep it from blowing out and blowing the head gasket. So we're buying new heads because I guess we did heads on it. I don't know how long ago, and they're kind of blown right now. It keeps coming back, saying, hey, I've lost coolant, it's overheating, and every time we look at it, it's like everything passes, and I'm like, I haven't got it for that yet. This is the first time I got it was the other day, and I'm like, hey, the cap passes, and if you're driving around in the hills and you're blowing off coolant and overheating at 240, then you got to breathe in your head gasket. That's the only way you're going to get that high of combustion, all of a sudden get that high of cooling system pressure or temperature. And so we're doing the heads on it, but it might be a couple weeks before we get those heads. So anyway, so I'll be doing a video on that pretty soon. That'll be a long time-lapse video, I think. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that because it's hard because I record with my phone, but I use my phone to play music. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. So I got to figure something out, but that's my plan. So Precision Instruments has a good 3/4 torque wrench. All right. See, here's the other thing is, so I did heads on a 6-liter a really long time ago. The first 6-liter I ever worked on, I did head gaskets on. I didn't even know what anything was on the truck because I'd never seen anything like it. I didn't know what the wavy rail was. I didn't understand how any of it worked. It wasn't like a gas vehicle where I could look at something and be like, oh yeah, well that's EGR and that's this, and no. But I did it. I took it apart, I put it back together, and it ran when I got done. So I was pretty proud of myself for that, considering I was a gasoline mechanic at the time. But anyways, torquing the heads was really, really, really hard. Now I did the heads with the cab on, and it was pretty hard. It was really hard. But it was really, really hard. And torquing those heads, like I had my service rider on the floor, and I had my feet up against his feet, and I'm sitting there torquing it because my feet were just sliding across the floor. So not real sure if I want to pull the cab or what. But I haven't done heads on one, and God, that was a long time ago. It was an 06. It was a 2006. It wasn't an 06. That was probably 14 years ago, probably. So, anyways, I'll have to check that out. Thank you, Theo. I appreciate that. I just need to have one of those tool companies hook me up. All right, I'll look into that. See if I can find somebody with a 3/4 inch torque wrench. So you know what's funny is today one of my coworkers asked me. I had some sockets that I had a tool on my cart that I was testing out and reviewing for a company, and he asked me. He's like, "Did you start your YouTube channel so you could get like free tools?" I was like, "Oh man, I started my YouTube channel to help people. I had no idea of the tool community on Instagram and YouTube. I did not know about this giant community of technicians and companies that all are here. I had no idea. I literally got on Instagram because I started my YouTube channel and I wanted to promote it, and I didn't. That's how I was going to do it. And then I discovered that there was this huge community, and I love it. And I tell my coworkers, I'm like, you guys are crazy, man. There's like this amazing community where you could learn about great tools, all kinds of stuff. So it's kind of funny how many people don't know about all of this. So she does, and you know what? I just don't argue. You just say yes, ma'am, and what I should do though. Whoever said that, I should look and I'm gonna see if Precision Instruments wants to sponsor me for a torque wrench. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, I have a face for radio. Oh, thanks, Theo. Oh, that's why she came up here adjusting the light. I didn't even realize this. She was watching me and she was like, "Oh, he looks awful up there. Let me go up and help this poor sucker." Oh, I thought she was just coming up here like, "Oh, now I understand how that all came about." Oh, you had a migraine, Shaggy? That sucks, man. Yeah, very true right there, Bill. Don't argue with the boss. Oh, okay. See, and here's the other reason that I wanted to get a bigger torque wrench was I did a flywheel on a Duramax, and I didn't realize that my tech angle tapped out at like I don't know 250 or something, and the first torque spec is a lot, and then 90 degrees or something crazy. So I pretty much didn't realize it until I was on my way around on the degrees that the minute I started to turn it, it was like beeping at me. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I would go to the next one and it would start beeping. I'm like, there's no way I moved it that far. And then I realized that my torque wrench didn't go high enough to torque it out. And so I pretty much, from that point, I had to paint marker all the bolts and use my, I don't know, 4 foot long snap on breaker bar and torque the bolts with my Capri hex head socket. That held up great for that. But I used my snap-on 4 foot breaker bar for that, and it was hard. Even with that, it was hard. That was the hardest damn bolts I ever tightened. So, yeah. All right. Thank you, AgTech. I'll keep that in mind. I got to look into that. Hey, Brandon, how's it going, man? Oh, you had a break-in last night? Oh, that sucks. Sorry to hear that, man. I hope you get everything secured and everything stay safe. All right. Good night, Shaggy. Have a good night, brother. Thanks for joining the stream. Appreciate you. Yeah, that sucks, Brandon. I'm sorry, man. That is all bad. Yes, they do. I try to tell my kids all the time. I'm like, you know what? They have their skateboards and their scooters and all this stuff, and I'm like, you know what? Don't ever leave that stuff laying out front. You leave your scooter out front. For the most part, things are okay, but you're gonna have that one kid that's gonna walk by and see the scooter, and your $200 scooter is gonna be gone. So we took my kid to skate camp on Sunday. And we went to the store. I had to get him some new bearings. Went to the store, got him a new hat, got him some bearings, and kind of got him all situated. Went back to his bunk, and he came out with his old hat on. I'm like, "Where's your new hat?" He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna wear it tomorrow." It's like, "Okay, well, go put it in your bag." He just threw it on his bed. I'm like, "Hey, you know what? It's nice to think that the world is awesome and everybody is honest, but believe it or not, there's a lot of people out there that see nice, shiny new things or whatever, and they want them, and they will take them. So if you leave your hat sitting on top of your bed, it's brand new. Somebody will take it. It'll be gone. I mean, hopefully not, but don't take that chance. Put it in your bag. Don't give someone the opportunity to see if they're honest. So, yeah, that sucks. God, man, that's such a bummer. We had such a rash of we had a big rash of break-ins in our neighborhood for weeks and weeks and weeks. They're breaking into people's cars every night. Well, that sucks. Someone stole something out of your dad's car while you were borrowing it. That sucks. I mean, it sucks they stole it, period, but oh, that sucks, Brandon. Man. Well, I don't know what a trail camera is. What is that? Let me try to make sure I get caught up on this. Uh-oh. What just happened? I'm sitting there scrolling, and all of a sudden hang on, all of a sudden my mouse just started going up like crazy. It wouldn't stop. Oh, that sucks. Diesel Tech 73. What is up? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining, man. I appreciate you. Awesome. I don't think I've seen you here before. The name looks familiar, but I'm not sure. Jeremy Shaw, what's up, man? Yeah, I know. I watched that series. I've done it. I've done the heads on them before. I have a lot of experience with 6 liters. I just haven't done. I've only done heads once. I've done just about everything else. Uh, yeah, he has a good. He has a good one there. SunX makes a 3/4. Okay, I'll have to check that out. All right, so SunX. I don't think I want to. I don't think I want a 3/4 split beam. I don't know. And a ton of knowledge, Theo. This is amazing. You don't know how many times that, and this goes both ways. People have asked a question on there, like I've said something, and then had people coming back. Oh, make sure you check this or check that, and I get a ton of advice, and then vice versa. A lot of people, I'm able to help as well. So yeah, no, it's fantastic. I love it. Hey Murray, what's happening? Welcome to the stream. I don't really know what I want, Nick. I mean, I just started thinking about it. I mean, I guess when you think about it, if I'm going to get a 3/4 inch torque wrench, well, okay, so that creates another whole problem because I don't have any really good 3/4 inch sockets. I have a set of 3/4 and 1 inch sockets from Pittsburgh, which I don't use hardly ever. It's literally axle nut sockets for a big Duramax. I mean, for a big Dodge. The front axle nuts, and a few other things. But they're all 12 point and they're chrome. So I guess I would need to buy a good set of 3/4 inch sockets. But I mean, really, it's for Duramax flywheels and heads on a Power Stroke. I don't know. I I really don't torque stuff that heavy that often, but when I do, it's really hard. Luckily, I like paint markers, so I have lots of paint markers. But yeah, so not real sure, Nick. I don't know. I haven't even. I literally just started thinking about it. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm not buying an electronic one because I'm not spending that kind of money. If I torque heads on diesels all day long, then I probably would have invested in that. As I spent, I mean, I think my half-inch Snap-on, it was probably 650, $700 probably. I think it was over $600 for that torque wrench. So I mean, they're not cheap, but you get what you pay for. So I would never go and buy a cheap torque wrench. Although I'm waiting for an update video, Country Mile just got a trio of torque wrenches, and I think he said they were from Gear Wrench. I think it was like quarter, 3/8, and half. Were they all Theo? Were they all Tech Angle Gear Wrench? I'm pretty sure they were. So he was just saying before that he liked the Gear Wrench, and then all of a sudden he had like a whole uh trio. Oh wow, that's Brandon. That is fantastic. They didn't get anything because that would really suck. I mean, it sucks to get broken into, but at least they didn't get anything. You know what? It has nothing to do with being poor, Brandon. It's just people that want what other people have, and either they can't afford it or they can't. It doesn't matter. They want what they don't have, and they're gonna take it because they think they can. That's all it is. That is all it is. So, oh my God, cats galore. Holy crap, man. We have Priuses towed in left and right with cats. Yeah, see, so all my torque wrenches, I have my very first Matco half-inch click style thing that goes from 25 to 250. I got a 3/8 Matco that I've had for a long time that says error, but it still torques out right. And so I'm still using it. I got a half-inch Tech Angle that goes up to, I think, 250-ish. I got a quarter drive Snap-on that starts at 40 inch-pounds and goes up to 200, I think. And then I got my Precision Instruments half-inch split beam. So yeah, I got five torque wrenches. I'm not sure if I counted them all correctly, but a trail camera is what hunters use. Oh, okay. Nice. Oh, motion activated camera for hunting. Okay. Oh, thanks, Steve. Well, that's the first time that's ever happened. I just started getting like approved for all of this stuff because I hit like 1,000 last week, and I just got approved for all of that stuff, and then I just got a notification saying today that I'm approved for the YouTube community page. Now I can do stuff on the community page. I just have to figure it all out, and it's a lot. Hitting 1,000 subscribers is a lot. There's a lot to do, and then you have to, I'm still working on my intro and outro. Turbo Tai is working on it. He was on vacation. He's getting back, trying to get acclimated. But he was gonna change the music for me on my intro and outro because I get popped for it every time I use it, and it says this video can't be monetized because of a copyright claim. And so I just go in there and mute the music or mute the song. And so yesterday I got an email, or whenever I've uploaded my video, I think Monday night, I got an actual email saying copyright claim. And so I had to go in there real quick and change that out. So I got one more dropping tonight. I'm going to get a copyright claim on that one. But anyways, I just try to get in there and get it changed real quick to make sure I don't have any issues. My dad had a billfold that he made while he was in Korea in the armrest. He hadn't taken it out yet after I got back from Flint. Oh my God. Oh, that sucks so bad. Thank you again, Steve. That's awesome, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, that sucks. Oh, you know what, AgTech? That's what I was thinking. I was exactly thinking Sunex or Tekton or even Capri. Also Tools too. I think I don't know if they make 3/4 inch sockets. I have their 1/2 inch deep metrics, and I like them a lot. I beat the crap out of those things. I just did front end work on a GMC Terrain. Took control arms off yesterday and put them on today, and I used all my 1/2 inch deep sockets for that. Those sockets aren't showing anywhere. I love those things. Oh, you've had them for 6 months? Nice. That's awesome. Ooh, a quarter drive tech angle. Interesting. My coworker has this little tiny, it's a little tiny Tekton quarter drive click style torque wrench, and it's little. You know what, Anthony? I have a thing about Gray Pneumatic. Ever since I found out that they won't warranty their sockets they won't warranty their tools if you buy them from Amazon, I have a problem with that company, and I don't like it. I can't help it. It really bugs me. I have a few magnetic sockets that I bought from Gray Pneumatic from Amazon, but it really bugs me that they won't do that. I know that Sunex doesn't do that. A lot of other companies don't do that. And so the fact that they do that, I don't really understand why. It seems to me that it's all about just money. It's not about warranting their product. I understand that maybe somebody's buying it cheaper and selling them on Amazon. I don't really care. If a Snap-on truck was on the side of the road and I walked up with a socket, it would warranty the socket for me because it was broken. It wouldn't matter where I got it from. I could buy it at a garage sale. It wouldn't matter. It's broken. I need a new one. It would give me a new one. So that really bugs me. I don't know why I can't get over that. And I buy a lot of stuff on Amazon. So bugs me. So yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about Capri. I was thinking about Tekton, Sunex, because I love my Sunex sockets ETR Garage. What is up, man? Oh, you got on here a little bit early. I think you've been getting on last minute too. Nice to see you. How are you? Quarter drive is great for intake manifolds. Yeah, you know what? I have to use a torque wrench for intake manifolds. I don't care if it's a plastic one. I have a tendency to break things. I can't. I don't trust myself to try to torque down anything, quarter drive stuff like that, because I have a tendency to either over tighten it and I'll stretch the threads or break it, or I won't tighten it enough and I'll end up with a vacuum leak later. It's not worth it to me, so I just torque it. And if it's one of those ones where maybe there's a bolt or two you can't torque, I just use a wrench or a ratchet and I do it the best I can. But I torque the intakes and all that stuff as much as I can because I don't want to take any chances. Yeah, see, and it's a bummer. I'm glad I made the video about buying, you don't need the tool truck stuff, because I found out about all, Gray Pneumatic, and I didn't know about all that stuff that these other companies weren't warranting if you bought from, from certain places. I've never, you know what, AgTech, I get it. I've never had a Snap-on guy ever tell me that they wouldn't warranty something. The only time it's ever iffy is that you don't have to tiptoe, Vadim. The only time it's ever iffy is if you're wanting them to warranty something that isn't of warrantable status, like my Matco hose clamp plier, cable pliers. She initially told me that they're not going to warranty them because it was the handle that was broken. The mechanism broke. They said they warranty the cable, not the mechanism, not the handle. And so she's like, let me see what I can do. And the next week she came in and said, oh, okay, I'm going to be able to warranty the whole set. I was like, okay, great. So little things like that, you just have to kind of see. But yeah, they don't all warranty everything. So, hey, you know what? Dave, one mechanic, I don't think he owns any torque wrenches from Right Tools, but I know he's bought like multiple sets of wrenches and he loves them and he keeps buying more. So he's a big fan of the Right wrenches. Snap-on quarter drive tech angle. That's awesome. I don't have a quarter drive tech angle. That's the only one I don't have. Oh, hang on, I missed something here. Okay, so I installed a Nissan balancer. I used my torque for the foot-pounds setting, then a paint marker, and impact for the angle. No, absolutely not, because Steve, if you torque the torque, and then the only thing that matters is if you put a mark where you started and it ends where it needs to end, 90 degrees, whatever, it doesn't matter. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I don't see anything wrong with it. I've done way sketchier stuff than that. You know what? We have to do stuff that's not always, completely by the book, exactly the way it needs to be done. It's a matter of, it's not even about a hack job. It's about whether you did the job and it's going to be sufficient, right? Did you do a good job? And is it sufficient enough where it's going to hold up and it's not going to fail? Well, I mean, Steve, honestly, I have to give you props because you used the torque wrench on a balancer, and I've never done that, I don't think. Actually, no, not I don't think. I've never done that before. I just use my gun, and I make sure it's good and tight, and it's not coming off. But no, and no hack job there at all. I have no hack opinions about that whatsoever. Oh, see, that's a bunch of crap too. Because man, I've been on the Snap-on truck, and I've watched a guy just pull over on the side of the road and walk up with a wrench or whatever, and the guy warranties it out. So that's what it is. It's a micro torque wrench. Yeah, it's crazy little too. It's littler than my little Snap-on clicker that I have. And you know what? Worst thing you can ever do. It's like a love-hate relationship. It's the worst thing you can ever do and the best thing you can ever do all at the same time. Can you guys guess what that is? Well, how about this? I had a Napa torque wrench, a Napa 3/8 drive torque wrench that I'd had for a long time, and something did not seem right. I was torquing intake manifolds, and something did not seem right at all. And I went out on the truck and I checked the torque on the damn torque meter. Well, let's just say I found out that torque wrench was bad. And I bought a quarter drive clicker and a half-inch drive tech angle at the same time. So, yeah. So it's like the best day ever because you figured out that your torque wrenches that you thought were doing everything the way they needed to be done weren't right. And it's the worst day ever because you're broke as hell. And there's a lot of money. I don't know how much I paid for that quarter drive, but I'm sure it wasn't cheap. I know the tech angle was at least $650. it was at least $650. It was a lot. It hurt my feelings to buy that one, but but hey, the first thing I torqued with it was heads on a six. Oh, it's a head on a 6.7 Cummins. So it didn't hurt my feelings that bad when I torqued that head, and I had this awesome torque wrench to do it with. So, and that is old school. See, that's like, you know what? We don't work at the dealership where you have all the special tools and all the holders and all the sockets and all this and that. Man, we got to do what we got to do to get the job done. And it's a matter of, did you do it professionally and meaning it's sufficient? And you did it professionally and sufficient. And there's nothing wrong with that. You ended up with the same result as you would have done as if you had the torque wrench and the holder and the socket and to do the whole job the way the dealer said to do it. You would have ended up with the same result. You just got there a little bit different. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, it does. But you know what sucks though is, man, I bought a Bomb Tools cam holder. It was a fixed head cam holder. So it was like probably about like this big. And it was, oh no, I'm sorry, it wasn't fixed. It had a swinging arm. So one arm was a swinger, right? And it had one fixed arm with a post on there, and you couldn't change the ends on them to hold the cams. And then one end was on a swivel. And one day it broke. The fixed end broke. And so I had my Snap-on guy check, and they couldn't warranty it. They wouldn't warranty it. Bomb Tools didn't warranty that tool. And so I ended up having to buy a Snap-on one because it would be warranted if it broke again. So that was a bummer, but hey, yeah, I mean, we make mistakes, right? How many times you guys buy a tool and you find out that it's not warranted or whatever, and you're like, oh crap. Now I got to buy a more expensive one, but at least next time I know I'll be covered. But anyways, yeah, no reason to be embarrassed right there, man. I've done all kinds of crazy stuff. Heck, the reason I bought a Tech Angle in the first place was I was doing a Cadillac North Star, and it was my very first upper oil pan replacement or reseal, on the North Star. So I had this 03 DeVille, pulled the motor, dropped the engine and trans out, pulled the motor, flipped it over, tore it all down. I was putting it back together. And if you guys aren't familiar with the Cadillac, when you do the upper oil pan, you have this real thin metal plate that lays across the upper block, right? So you got to put silicone all around the block, and you put this metal. I forgot what it's called. It slipped my mind. It's like an aluminum plate, whatever. You lay that down, and then you silicone on top of that, and then you put the upper oil pan on, right? But then, so you torque it all around, which I don't think there was a lot of bolts in the perimeter, but in the main valley, you're torquing the main bolts for the rods, and the main bearings. You're torquing the main bearings down through this upper oil pan, and the torque rating, I don't remember now. It's been a long time. It was an 03. I want to say it was something crazy like 71 foot-pounds or something like that, right? Some off-the-wall number where, we can go like, 45, 90 to 70, right? You're like, okay, all these degrees. I'm sorry, when I said I meant 71 degrees. We can kind of split the difference, right? Oh, this is 45, that's 90, 270s over here, whatever, right? No, this was something that was not normal. And so I pretty much had to go, okay, I'm guessing that's around this torque spec. And I cranked it until it hit that, and I crossed my fingers and hoped that everything was good. It turned out good. But that was actually why I bought the Tech Angle in the first place. And then I worked on a lot of Subarus, and Subarus, you need that for a Subaru, for Subaru heads. So. Yeah. Very true. Very true. Whatever it takes to get the job done and have it done right. Yeah. I honestly just gun it on. I really do. About the only thing I stopped gunning on is flywheel bolts. Because I was actually reading an article or something about, I forgot what it was, but if you gun on the flywheel bolts, sorry, on certain engines, you can crack the crank. And I know Jasper has like a big warning on one of their engines I did one time, and it was like, do not use do not use impact on this on the flywheel bolt because you'll crack the crank. So I think I torqued that one just because they specifically said it. But yeah. So I used it on that 4.7 timing chain job. Used what on a 4.7 timing chain job? The crank lock? The tool that is for a 4.7. Uh-oh, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. That's absolutely right. You're getting paid to do the job. So the 4.7, so the timing chain, so you have a chain that goes from the crank up to the balance shaft in the center. And then from there you have a chain that goes up to one head and then up to the other head. Well, the tool, I the first time I ever did heads on one of these, somebody had the tool and they let me borrow it, and I used the tool. The tool does not fit on the truck. It doesn't line up. I was able to use it and make it work that time. Every time after that, all I did was just paint marker everything, and I just bungeed up the chains. Never had a problem, but the tool does not work for the 4.7. Not the one it's supposed. It's supposed to slide in the front of the balance, not the balance shaft. It's not the water pump. Anyways, and hold the chains up so they don't fall down. But yeah. 36 millimeter alignment wrench replaced. Holy crap, that's a big wrench. Wow, that sucks. So what do they do then, Pat? They just say sorry? Sorry, Charlie? A girdle. Oh, I missed something here. Okay, hang on. You can buy the full set of gear wrench tech angles for almost the same price as the Snap-on tech angle. A timing chain on an engine stand. There you go. That's easy right there. Piece of cake. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Okay, yeah. Yeah, my neighbor, he was like, oh, I think it was like $40. I looked on it. You know what I need to buy? So I've always had the Snap-on, well, actually, no, I had the Matco radiator pressure tester for a long time. And then it was taking forever to pump up. And so I invested in a Snap-on one. And so, of course, all the adapters are like $50 each. And so I've got this damn thing, and I have the Volkswagen adapter. I've got the adapter for testing radiator caps on. Sorry. I've got the adapter for testing radiator or degas bottle caps for 6 liters and 6 Fords, well, and 6 7s for Fords. I've got a Mercedes one, and then I've got like the regular kit, like 5, I think, in there. But the problem is it doesn't have a Sprinter. It doesn't have. I just had a BMW 325i. It doesn't fit that, and so my coworker, I've had to borrow it 3 times now, and he's got this big old Astro pneumatic radiator pressure kit. It's got 15 or 17 adapters, and then it comes with the one where you can plug in an air hose. and it just applies however much pressure. You set it for 16 pounds, it stays at 16 pounds. You don't have to keep going back over there and pumping it up. And so I've been really looking at that, really contemplating, getting one of those sets. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys use for testing radiator for cooling systems? I work on a lot of Sprinters and BMW. I don't work on a lot of BMWs, but I do work on a lot of Sprinters, and I'm starting to work on a lot of stuff. And just now, I know Toyota, all the new Toyota caps. They're not regular radiator caps anymore either. So you can't test anything anymore with the regular kits. Oh, small engines and tools. Oh, man. Welcome to the stream. Oh, 12-hour day. Woo, boy, that's a long day. I used to do that every day. Back in the day, I used to work from 5 in the morning till 5 at night every day. On Harleys, I don't gun the compositor bolt as I damaged it before. It literally says no sharp blows or impact on it. I didn't realize it at the time. Is a compositor a balancer bolt, I'm assuming? It's a 1.5-inch bolt. Now it's changed to a Torx 70, I believe. You have that Astro set. Yeah, you like it? You like it, Pat? I worked at a shop. So in my process of finding, the shop I'm at now, I worked at one shop where we couldn't condemn a head gasket based on a block test. The only way that they would allow us to fail a head gasket is if you took out all the spark plugs and pressurized it overnight and then saw coolant in the cylinder in the morning, which I think is completely asinine, but whatever. I have been doing this for a minute. And so I think that's completely ridiculous because not all cars fail that way. And so we would have to use the shop that had the pressure tester that you would hook up the air hose, and we would just leave the air compressor on and then pump it up to 16 pounds and leave it there overnight. And that's what we had to do. So that was the first time I'd ever seen that before. So that said, it's great. So now, okay, so what do you guys think about this? And this rolls back to my thoughts on ball joint presses and all that stuff. So if you go and just go to Amazon and Google a universal pressure tester kit, you can find the same kit, the same case, the same adapters, the same layout, the same everything. The only difference is maybe the color of the case and maybe the brand. But they're all different prices and they're all different brands. So what makes Astro Pneumatic different than another brand that's like $70? So Astro's, I think, is $200. Another brand is, $70, right? So what is different between that $70 one and the Astro Pneumatic one? And why are the cases exactly the same? Why is it all the same layout? There's no difference. I feel this way about ball joint press kits. If you look at ball joint press kits, look at an OTC, look at a Snap-on, look at a Harbor Freight. Look at every single one, and they're all the same. They all look the same. They're on the same case. They're all in the same color case. They're all in the same. They're all laid out the same. There's no difference. I bet you can go and buy an OTC one and a Harbor Freight and take the cases, and everything lays out exactly the same. How is that, and how relevant is that? Is the Astro Pneumatic one really $200 versus the $70 not Astro set? I really wonder this, and I don't know the answer, and nobody's really going to have the answer because it's, but see, I have that too. But the only problem with that Ag Tech is, I mean, if you were to buy like the master adapter kit, that's a lot of money. It's like several $100s just for the adapters. And I mean, you're talking about Toyotas of this, of what's coming up now. Though that adapter's, not in any Snap-on kit. The Sprinters, the BMWs, you'd have to buy like a master adapter kit. And I bet it would be $200 or $300 just for the adapter kit. And that's the problem, is I already have a Snap-on, pump up kit. I already have a Snap-on Volkswagen adapter. I already have a Mercedes adapter. I already have a Power Stroke cap adapter. I already have all these things. I mean, that's $130 in adapters, just in, I think, 3 adapters that I have. So that's my dilemma with the whole, Well, now I have borrowed it from, one of my coworkers like 3 times now. So, I mean, he borrowed stuff from me. So, I mean, I guess it's not like, you borrowed it 3 times. No, he's talking about the Astro pressure tester set. Yeah. Oh, Matt Wilson, what's up, man? How's it going, brother? Yeah, that's what that's what the other shop, they had that. It was a Snap-on one. They pretty much had all Snap-on tools. No, Steven, 3 torque wrenches are kind of I've never worked anywhere where a torque wrench was a shop tool except for one shop. It was only because they required you to torque the wheels down. And the only reason that they bought a good torque wrench was because they would go and do quality checks, and they would come. I was the foreman, and they would come to me and say, "Hey, this one car, the torque didn't line up properly for the wheels." And I said, "Okay, well, they're using like Snap-on torque wrenches, and you're using like a Harbor Freight torque wrench, so you can't really compare that, and that's not really fair that you're doing that." And so they bought Snap-on beam style torque wrenches for all the shops to use as a shop tool. So that way there was no question as to whether the wheels were torqued properly. I mean, whatever. Kind of dumb, but it was nice because it was a 1/2-inch beam style torque wrench to use, to put wheels on. So, well, so Theo, that was actually my question, was the quality. The quality, how much of that is quality and how much is that the name? That's what I don't understand, is how does that, I understand the difference between quality and price, but how do you take 2 products and have the exact same case, exactly the same layout? There's no difference in anything except for you're just telling me that this one costs $200 and this one costs $70. So that's actually my wonder in that, is how much of that is actually quality and how much in that is just the name. I mean, I don't know. See, that's the thing, AgTech, and that's what I was wondering. Is I literally have been looking. I have one in my cart in Amazon, and it's like $70, and I'm like sitting there like I kind of hemming and hawing about it, because I mean, I don't want to go buy a crappy tool and then be, SOL in a year. But I'm just trying to be as informed as I can. Oh, well, that's not fair, because all cans are the same size, but you know what I mean, though. It's the case and how it's laid out. Oh, I know. See? Oh, you only really do BMW, Volkswagen, and Nissan. Oh, you work on Nissans. Oh, poor guy. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing and you're right. The master kit is still missing stuff, because I have one guy in the shop that has like the master kit for for the pump up style, and his doesn't have everything. Yeah, I'm stuck though. I'm running out of room in my toolboxes again. See, I have the Harbor Freight ball joint press, and I used it. I didn't have any problem. And I did a bunch of Dodge, front end, bunch of Dodge ball joints and bunch of diesel ball joints. And then it stripped out. So I thought, no big deal. I went back to Harbor Freight, saying to get this warranty. They're like, sorry, that's not a warrantable item. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's a hand tool. So they went on and on about telling me it's not warranted. I'm like, that's not what they told me when I bought it. And they didn't offer me a protection plan or anything like that. And so they warranted it for me, but they said this is the only time we'll warranty it. And so I got it warranted. And I swear I've only used it 3 times and it's already stripped out. But the first one lasted me a long time. The first one, I actually had it for quite a long time. And then now this one's stripped out. So I'm kind of stuck. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm sure it will work. And, it's not like we use pressure testers. It's not like they're like, on there and there's, under extreme pressure forever. It's like a quick, pump it up. Okay. You know what else I like about the universal, so the new style testers? You know what I like about those is that there's a button on there to release the pressure. So you have the pump up style, right? And you pump it up, pump it up, pump it up, and you're like, all right, cool. Okay, no leak. All right, let me crack it, and then coolant goes everywhere. Well, if you have one of the newer styles, you can just press the little button, and you're like, disconnect the hose, disconnect the adapter, and you don't have coolant everywhere. So that's actually one of the things that I like about those newer sets is that. That's actually a huge thing that I like about that. So torque sticks are great so I used torque sticks for a long time. Well, actually, for a long time, I didn't use any torque sticks, any torque wrench. I didn't use anything. I just gunned them on, and I never had a problem. I went to a shop where they required torque sticks, and but they provided them. They were Harbor Freight, whatever. I used torque sticks. I never had a problem. I'd torque stick my wheels, and I would drive home. And then they started requiring a torque wrench even with torque sticks. And now I torque all the wheels, and I'm not buying my own torque sticks. I don't really care. If I'm torquing them anyways, why am I going to go buy sticks just to get it where I want it to be to still tighten it more? So now I just give it, I just get and I'm good. I drop it down, torque it down, I'm good. But I mean, torque sticks, there's nothing wrong with them. I used them for a long time. I'm just not buying my own set. I mean, if the shop had them, I would use them. But I mean, it's like $70. I was gonna buy some, and then I went to Harbor Freight, and then I ended up buying some other stuff, and I forgot about them, and then I was like, yeah, I'm not buying torque sticks. Dan L. Hey, welcome to the stream, man. I appreciate you joining. Well, maybe I don't want to talk, bro. I just want to see here quietly, and that's okay too. It is absolutely okay. You can be here, you can talk, you can not talk, you can ask questions, you can just watch in the background. Whatever you enjoy, do it. If you want to ask me a question, I'll do my darndest to answer it. And if you want to just sit quietly in the background, there is nothing wrong with that. Thank you for joining the stream. I really appreciate it. I don't think I've seen you here before. All right, Matt Wilson. The Astro wheel bearing kit is nice. They claim to use a better forcing screw on Astro. Okay, all right. See, I was talking to somebody one day, and we were sitting there BSing, and we thought that, so you have this company, right? The company is a manufacturing company, and they have the press set up. Let's say they're making ball joint presses, right? So they've got the machine set up. They've got everything set up. The only difference is what kind of metal goes into the machine. So then you've got this side of the machine that's pouring for Snap-on and OTC and things like that. You've got this side of the machine that's pouring for Harbor Freight and whatever, and they run through and they do 200 from this side, they do 200 from this side. It's the same case because it's made at the same place, made by the same company. It's just a different kind of metal that's poured in. because I can't imagine that OTC and Harbor Freight would use the same kind of metal and just charge an obscene different amount of money, right? So I know there's a difference. So that's the only thing that we can come up with, is that they're built in the same plant, the same, everything is the same, because I mean, if you hold them up, they all look exactly identical. So it's got to be the kind of metal that's poured into the molds to make the tools. That's my guess. That's what I'm sticking with. That's what I think is going on. But like radiator pressure testers and stuff, it's a little bit different because it's not like it's pouring into a mold, like it's parts and they're assembled, and there's a lot more to it than that. But the ball joint kits, that's what I think is going on there. There you go. See? And different kinds of metal. Oh, he's got some sauce going on. No worries, Steven. Man, you don't have to say anything. I just appreciate you being here. Man, you know what? I'm torn, Ag Tech, because I got my Harbor Freight, toolbox and my hutch, and I built my own little hutch and side lockers, and I just don't have room for anything else. I can't. I'm strapped. I don't have any more room. I barely fit where I am as it is. I got too many damn tools, man. It's crazy. Man, what I want is Diabolical's toolbox, but I don't have anywhere to put it. In the past, I always had unlimited floor space, but not anymore. Man, it's like seven. Hang on. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm sorry. We have 9 techs right now. We just hired a new person. We have 9 people in the shop. That's crazy. Oh, thank you so much, Steven. Yeah, hit that like button if you guys don't mind. Hit that like button or dislike, whatever. All right, I got 8 minutes to catch up on the chat. I got at 8 o'clock. I got to go. The wife and I have a Real Housewives date. That's what we do on Wednesday nights. We watch Real Housewives. Yeah, very true. That's like everything. Everything was built better then than it is now. I mean, everything gets cheaper as it goes. Yep. Got to make sure the sauce don't strip. The bolt, I believe, is what I have to look at it again, Steven. It's been a minute. I don't recall actually. What I would need to do is my coworker has an OTC one. I would need to take his OTC and see if one stripped or the other. I'm really not sure. But you know what? Somebody actually made a comment the other day. I was about to press some ball joints, and I said something on Instagram, and somebody said, oil the threads. And I thought, that's actually the one thing I never do. And that maybe I should have. Maybe that's why they stripped. Maybe that's why it screwed up. It's because I didn't oil the threads. I did it. So. Oh yeah, see, that's why I don't. That's why I haven't bought anything yet. I've been leery of that. Buying something and then it sucks. Hey, I was taught in school right there. That's very true. I was taught in school a long time ago. The number one thing in diagnostics, it doesn't matter what kind of diagnostics you're doing, you have to be certain that you can trust your tool. Meaning you need to either confirm that it's okay in the beginning, buy a good one, whatever, but you need to make sure that the tool that you're using is good and that you trust it. I mean, you can't sit there with a gauge and go, yeah, it looks like it's got 65 pounds of fuel pressure. Well, as long as my gauge really is saying 65 pounds, I mean, kind of crazy right there, you can't diagnose something, in that aspect. So you have to be able to trust your tool. It's not like an ohm test where you could just be like, okay, hook the leads together. All right, I got 0.0. Okay, we're good. Let's go. So snap on at it. Hey, welcome to the stream, man. How you doing? Good to see you. Haven't seen you been busy, huh? Haven't seen you on here this evening. How you doing? Dan L. Yep, absolutely, man. No problem. You don't ever have to say anything. If you want to just come on here and not say a word, there's nothing wrong with that. I ain't mad about it. Yeah, they did work for everything. Absolutely. And then that 3 adapters turned into 5. Because now my original 3 adapter, now it's 5. And of course it doesn't fit crap anymore. For truck toolboxes. Truck toolboxes, what do you mean? You mean for your truck, or do you mean toolboxes from the truck? You mean for your truck? I don't know. Yeah, for real. Yeah, Stant was the thing. Stant was definitely it. Oh, Pat, you know what? You said it right there. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Everything Snap On just looks bitchin'. I mean, really, if I had a shop and I had unlimited funds and money was not an option, everything that I had would be Snap On. I love Snap On. I love the look of it. Their tools work great. Now, there's a lot of other great companies out there. However, do I think that, they are, above? Yeah, I do think so. Their tools don't just cost a lot for the appearance. And I would totally buy, Snap On, a lot of Snap On. That is absolutely correct. What, your sauce won't be ready until 2 a.m.? Dang. You're going to be up all night, Steven. Steven's going to be tired tomorrow. Only making a half batch. Oh, see, that actually could be a thing right there. Maybe AgTech has figured it out. And then, wait, AgTech figured it out. And then Dorman was born, right? So after all the molds were out, and they make parts for Dorman. And that's how we know Dorman makes such quality parts. Because the parts were excellent after all the molds wore out. You know what? I just put something in the other day, Dorman, and my favorite thing was when I opened the box. It said, first, if you're not sure, call Dorman's Tech Line. It had a 1-800 number. I thought about calling them just to like mess with them. I don't know. I think my boxes are deep. I don't know. Maybe I'm not buying another toolbox. I don't know. I don't have any. Man, it's yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna do. We had 5. One lazy guy. They moved him in front of the office where he could watch him, where they could watch him, and he quit. Hey, that's all it takes right there. Yeah, AgTech will be able to help you. I don't know anything about that. I do actually oil my air tools a lot more than I ever used to. I'm not gonna lie. I for a really long time I never oiled my air tools. Once in a while when I was slow, I'd line them all up and I would just come through 25 tools, drop oil, stick the air on there, run it through, wipe them down, put them away. But I don't use air. It's funny because I don't use air tools that often anymore. But I do actually oil them now. So. Oh, Anthony, are you the one that had the drill with the zip tie and the floor jack on TikTok that was jacking it up and you were fixing your ball joint press? Was that you? Do you guys see that on TikTok? It's pretty funny. It's like this whole setup where they've got a floor jack and it's pushing a vise up against. It looks like a tie rod end or something on a car, but it's pretty funny. The setup. Oh, not parking it inside. That's tough right there. Oh, there you go. There you go. Put it in the crock pot, set it and forget it. Okay, all right. I tried it. It was pretty cool, but man, you got to put music to it, and I don't know. I gotta mess this more. I just haven't had time. I've been kind of out of it. I told my wife, it's like, with my kid going to skate camp this week, I've been kind of having a hard time getting going. It's weird with him not being home, and it's the first time he's been away. So, all right, fellas. Well, I'm gonna have to bounce. It is 8 o'clock. I told the boss that I would be off at 8, so we could watch our show. And man, TikTok's got some pretty funny stuff. I don't know. It's got some pretty funny mechanic stuff too. And there's a lot of really cool mechanic stuff. So I'm trying to do it. I kind of messed with it. I think I made a couple videos, but they were dumb. It was like checking power on a fuse. I think it was kind of dumb. But anyways, it wasn't my best work. So anyways, I got to bounce, guys. So thank you so much for joining the stream. I appreciate it. Hey, Chris, how's it going? Dan L, thank you for joining the stream and for letting me know that you didn't want to talk. There's no problem in that. So every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m., I should be on here. I usually let you guys know on Instagram if I'm gonna be off a day or whatever. So anyways, thank you for joining the stream, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good night, guys, and kick ass the rest of the week. Let's get it.